After an allegedly planned absence, MultiVersus has returned. The question remains, is it back better than ever? If you want my honest opinion, let's get into it. To start off, we have the meat and potatoes, gameplay. MultiVersus draws inspiration from its predecessors in the platform fighter genre, implementing directional normals, specials, charged attacks, damage meters, and knockouts. There are some noticeable exclusions like shields and dedicated throws, but their absence is hardly to its detriment. The game has an odd flow. Most of the time it feels like you are moving or jumping through molasses, and when you attack you get stuck in a character's lengthy animations. However, occasionally you will pull off a consistent juggle on the enemy without struggle. As a whole, whiff punishing feels rather strong in this game. And while I'd normally be okay with that, the mechanic, methodical in nature, clashes with the chaotic 4-player setting where almost no downtime exists. Character design varies greatly in quality, some proving to carve their own niche in the roster, while others there to fill it out. For instance, we have Shaggy, a literal Shoto, standard with Tatsu, Shoryu, and Fireball. While not the most unique creation to come out of a studio, he fills the role of play this if you are either new to the game or new to the genre. So acceptable to that degree. Then there is Iron Giant, a big body with a diverse moveset, defensive meter, and rage mode that not only changes his moveset, but also allows his partner to join in on the fun. An all-around fun to utilize character until you get juggled between two enemies due to your sizable hurt box, guaranteeing a one-way trip to Hurtsville, USA. Last is the trite Banana Guard, who has no passive abilities, pretty standard across the board, and equipped with specials that are replicated from other fighters in MultiVersus. And unfortunately, that's not his gimmick. He's just incredibly undercooked. Matchmaking currently only takes a few seconds, and matches themselves don't run very long. With 4 shared stocks, 2v2s last about 2 minutes a pop. While a rematch feature is implemented, all participants are required to accept in order to initiate it. On one hand, it makes it so that you aren't stuck paired with someone you don't click with, or against people you don't enjoy playing against. On the other hand, the salty run back has effectively been wiped clean, and sets are no longer guaranteed. While I could argue that is what ranked mode is for, the game does not have it on release, for some reason. A 1v1 mode is also present, but it has been made clear in both the game's marketing and design that it is considered secondary, so pales as a replacement. There's also the addition of a single player mode. It'd be bereft of me not to stress how rare a single player component is to a free-to-play online multiplayer game. MultiVersus not only has one, but also looks to update it for the foreseeable future. There are games releasing in 2024 without even the means to do bot matches. Now, the content itself is nothing all that special. You play through matches against AI for relatively meager rewards, with a few mini-games spread throughout to break the pace. The associated story is about as bare bones, with one character, when asked about their motivations, promptly replied, "I don't know, something came over me." Riveting. But hey, in a sense we are pushing boundaries and that's pretty neat. One final thing I'd like to address is progression, a key factor to any game whose sole monetization is tied to purchases and retained interest. There are 4 types of currency in MultiVersus: perk, fighter, prestige, and gleamium, with only the last one being acquired with real money. Since only 2 of these directly translate towards unlocking things of substance, I will only be addressing those 2 specifically. The first being perk currency. A character has between 2 and 3 unique perks, and a choice of 19 perks shared across the cast. With 4 slots to fill, it costs 4,500 to slot out a character with something apart from the default. The kicker is that although there are universal perks, they are not unlocked for every character upon purchase, just for the one you bought it on. This means that it is roughly 4,500 each time you want to swap to someone new. Currently, there is no direct pipeline to receiving this currency outside of leveling a fighter, which leaves you 3,700 at max level. So pray you don't want to swap perks down the line, because you'll already be short some change on the initial investment. Assuming, of course, that new perks aren't added down the line to further diminish your supply. Whereas the second being fighter currency. The game has a roster of 26 characters on release, one is tied to the battle pass, and the other a login bonus with an undisclosed time limit. A standard character costs 3,000 fighter currency, with the newest release, in this case Joker, being 6,000. You can scrounge together 600 fighter currency from leveling a character from 14 and bit piece through the single player mode. As of this video, I had 4,500 in 10 hours, though the individual sources are hard to parse, so take this information with a grain of salt. There's also the option to unlock characters with the paid currency, Gleamium, translating to $10 USD per purchase. All of this sounds standard for a game of MultiVersus nature. That being said, it is impossible to take unowned characters to the practice mode for a session of try before you buy. The game has a free rotation, but it is limited to 4 characters, so you'll be at the mercy of that feature as to when you can figure out how to spend your hard-earned currency. Hopefully, everything I've discussed has made it clear why the game has me feeling lukewarm. I do genuinely believe there is something to MultiVersus, but I fear that it lacks staying power. Between the restrictions it has implemented, the features it hasn't, and the general game feel, I don't have much hope nor personal interest at this time to invest into it. But you can't say I didn't try. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please support the channel. Until next time.